Chapter 2, Thaddeus. Lord Thaddeus, good evening, Oliver said, startled, attempting to hurriedly dust the crumbs from his desk and small potbelly. Be still, Oliver, Thaddeus replied, not at all surprised the boy was still at his station at this late hour and snacking, despite it technically breaking the rules. Thaddeus found being lenient with his trusted archivist a bit of a guilty pleasure. With everyone else, he had to be strict and precise. But with Oliver, he could give, even just a little, and that was enough. Can I help you with something, Lord? Oliver asked with a conspiratorial grin. Need to finalize our World Fair submissions, Thaddeus replied. Oliver coughed as if Thaddeus knew not what he'd say next. If you don't mind, my lord, I have compiled some suggestions. With a trembling hand, Oliver held the manifest out to Thaddeus. Beside a short list of inventions not yet released to the kingdoms, Oliver had populated a column with his reasoning. Thaddeus reviewed. Elevators. Yes, that could be good. Cameras? Thaddeus questioned, raising an eyebrow. Yes, Oliver said shyly. Selfishly, it pains me to think of the history we're losing by not photographing each World Fair. Imagine not having the photos from the early building of Mount Olympus. What a waste. I will consider it. And imagine, next fair, why, we could do motion pictures, and we could produce something to combat the forest uprising. Thaddeus winced. Don't call it that. Of course, my lord, Oliver said, bowing. Don't bow to me, Thaddeus corrected again. Of course, Oliver said, erecting quickly. I will take your suggestions to council. Thank you. Thaddeus left Oliver to beam over his influence. Walking through the rows of hidden inventions, Thaddeus compared Oliver's suggestions to those he'd cataloged in his mind over the past century. When he'd taken over the archive, he had hoped to pass it down to his son, as his father had to him. Instead, it looked more and more like he'd own the decision of which non-human species and resultant kingdom would take over the precious archive upon their extinction. Oliver, although he didn't realize it, represented the Isle Neogenis in that running. Thaddeus unlocked the bunker within a bunker. Cold steel caged inventions, medicines, weapons that could save or destroy. If X failed with Lucas, the Mortadell taunt could finally unleash Forestian rebels, raising the world. Thaddeus was the last line of defense to ensure the power of the ancient civilization from which their species came landed in the best hands. He looked at the box that only one other knew about. Thaddeus sealed the vault, praying X delivered, or his ancestors' hard-fought peace would burn.